Welcome back to our channel. We want to thank you for joining. It is important to know that the continent of Africa should not be reminded or can be reminded anymore that the geopolitical landscape has changed. At the moment, the United States of America has actually listed a number of countries that are potentially will not be required to travel to the United States or will not be accepted based on news report. It is important to know that Africa must sit up, and now is the moment like never before seen. And the warning signals cannot be re-emphasized, or make sure that your country understands what the implication of this travel ban to the United States of America. This particular geopolitical engagement with the continent of Africa, with the United States of America, is evident that at this time, African countries must sit up and start making choices that are important and relevant for their own countries. If European citizens who actually to an extent in terms of travel had free movement to the United States of America are being locked up and put in prison and deported, what do you think that the visa process for the continent of African nationals will be? So it's important for you to sit up and start fixing your own systems, your administration, your economy, and to make sure you attract your people to stay back in your own countries.
The United States is reportedly considering sweeping travel restrictions that could impact more than 40 countries worldwide, with nearly half of them being in Africa. This is according to reports from America. Now, while the list is yet to be approved, the proposed changes could significantly impact global travel. Enoch Sikolia has the details.
According to reports, the Trump administration has put the 43 countries into 3 categories. Red list. Countries in this category include Libya, Somalia, and Sudan. If the proposed changes are effected, these nations will be set for a full visa suspension. These African nations will be in the same group as Afghanistan, Iran, Syria, Cuba, and the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. Then there is the orange list, made of countries that will face additional travel restrictions instead of a total ban.
The geopolitical landscape has changed. The message is clear. It's no longer before when you hear leaders will talk about geopolitical arrangement, collaboration and partnership. It is about protectionism at the moment. So African nations must sit up at this time and communicate the message to its citizens and figure out how you're going to build your systems, your economy to accommodate your own people. It is clear the geopolitical landscape is not so fertile, so comfortable like the way it used to be. However, was African thinking that this moment would not come? Definitely not. I think that the continent of Africa, considering the recent aid cutting across the region, and more importantly, why the countries of South Africa, Egypt are coming under tremendous pressure. The African continent must go to its backyard, go back to the drawing board and start fixing your own system. It will be an embarrassment again if Africa comes out from this particular moment. The next 4 years will be the most challenging time that the continent of Africa has ever experienced. So Africa cannot say that they were not informed. African countries cannot say we were not warned, that we had no clue. The current president of the United States of America, Mr. Donald Trump, has given African countries the signal. Let's roll this clip.
African nations in the group include Eritrea, Sierra Leone, and South Sudan. The final group is the yellow list. These countries will have a 60-day period to address concerns or risk stricter measures. African countries in this category include Angola, Benin, Burkina Faso, Cameroon, Cape Verde, Chad, the Republic of Congo, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Equatorial Guinea, the Gambia, Liberia, Malawi, Mali, Mauritania, Sao Tome and Principe, and Zimbabwe. The list has been put together by the U.S. State Department, but is subject to change and still requires approval. This move aligns with past policies under Trump's administration, which saw travel restrictions on certain nations due to what they refer to as national security concerns. It remains to be seen whether these restrictions will be challenged in court as they were in the past.
It is important to know that you must develop your own systems and make sure that you reduce to prevent your nationals from traveling to the deserts and going to those particular countries. Your geopolitical partners are measuring you based on this particular global event, on how they see African nationals struggling, traveling across the deserts. There are steps that needed to be made. Sacrifices must be made at the moment to develop systems, open particular industry, farm, agriculture, a whole full lot of very important issues that or things that will bring revenue and money into the pocket of your people. Make sure that you can fend for yourself. You don't have to wait for the United States of America or other partners to send food to you, to give you aid, to provide you some finances. At this moment, if you become more self-sufficient, they will start struggling coming to you to work alongside in other areas. But now is the moment. So the issue about visa, who told you that it's so easy in the United States of America? There are a lot of Americans, nationals who are running to the continent of Africa, and Africans are trying to run to the United States of America. So at this time, Africans must learn to live with what they have and make sure that they can manage their own particular processes and look for options. Like the Ghanaian president said that it is about time for them to close some budget loopholes and make some tremendous sacrifices to stand up to this particular moment, because history will remember the continent of Africa at this time, that it was during this period that the continent of Africa succumbed with regards to its geopolitical partners from around the world. The United States of America sent a strong signal to the continent of Africa that you are not needed. You cannot travel here to an extent. If you look at the number of African countries that have been singled out with regards to this particular travel ban.
This development follows an executive order signed by President Donald Trump on his inauguration day in January, which states the need to protect the U.S. from individuals intending to, quote, commit terrorist acts, threaten national security, or exploit immigration laws. During his first term, Trump quickly introduced a controversial travel ban, blocking Syrian refugees and restricting entry for travelers from Iraq, Iran, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and Yemen. The policy faced legal challenges, but in 2018, the U.S. Supreme Court upheld a revised version, including restrictions on Iran, Libya, the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, Somalia, Syria, Venezuela, and Yemen. President Biden repealed the ban in 2021. The White House has not publicly commented on the reports. If approved, the new travel restrictions could have significant implications for international relations and immigration policies. Enoxikolia, CGTN.
Let me know if your country is on this particular list at the moment, as we see African nations are going through an incredible period in their history. More importantly, at this time, the continent of Africa must learn that the landscape has changed and that things are not what they used to be. I want to thank you for watching. Let me know in the comment section what you think with regards to this particular United States of America's list, and let me know if your country is on it. For now, I will be looking forward to meeting you soon in our next episode. Have a good day. Bye-bye.